Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whatever time you are joining, whenever you are joining, and from wherever you are joining. I'm so glad that you're here. Today, I wanted to start talking a little bit about a presentation that I went to earlier last week. It was a presentation about teens and screens that was given at a local high school. And I'm sure you're thinking, what does this have to do with meditation? But I will share a little bit about that. There is a connection, I promise. So this presenter was in his early 20s, and he talked quite candidly about his addiction to technology and how he was able to transform his relationship with it. Now, what was great about his experience was that he realized that this was his mission to talk very candidly about what technology is doing to our society as a whole, but more specifically to our young people. And he is really wanting to help young people have a healthy relationship with technology. And one of the strategies that he shared was this idea of being more intentional about how and when he used technology and setting up what he called cognitive associations with his work time. So whether he was working on a project, like a research project, or he was working on journaling, whatever it was that he was doing for class, what he did was to set up these positive cognitive associations was, first of all, to identify specific times of day that he was going to do his work and make sure that he knew he was prepared for those times of day. He would sit at his desk instead of in front of the television or on the couch or in some other part of his house or his apartment, so that he knew when he was sitting at his desk, he was ready to work. He talked about changing the lighting in the room so that the lighting wasn't dim, but that the lighting was quite bright, and it was energizing or energy giving. He turned off all of his notifications. He closed out any open tabs on his computer. And then he actually set a timer for himself so that he would do work in specific blocks of time. And the way that he described his intention with technology and how he engaged with technology really reminded me so much of what we do to create a sustainable practice, a meditation practice. We also set up a time that works best for us schedule wise. And we find a place where we can be relatively undisturbed by things going on in our outside world, and eliminating those distractions as best as we can. We also find a place, a seat, or a surface that is comfortable to us and allows us to focus for the duration of our meditation. And of course, we set a timer. Typically, we have a predetermined or a set amount of time that we want to devote to meditation. And so we set a timer to make sure that we don't have to think about that, the time that we're devoting, but in essence, that is taken care of by this timer that we put in place so that we can actually focus on the task at hand. And there may be other things that you do based on your own preferences, but those were a couple of things that came to mind in relation to what he was talking about with screens and teens. And of course, I think with meditation, I always like to talk about the five essentials, that we are very intentional about how we treat ourselves during our practice. So that our thoughts are okay, that we don't need to try too hard to have a certain type of meditation. We can let go of expectations, be kind. And of course, we always want to stick with the practice, even if it gets tough. So today, what I thought we would do is that we would practice our own intentionality with a practice that works with both our attention and our intent and intention, which is circuit training. And in this practice, if you recall, we play with a combination of both focused attention and open awareness to help train our attention in a way that's a little bit like life, where we are moving back and forth between being very focused on something, a topic or a person, And then taking in all of our surroundings and all of the things that might easily distract us, but just taking them all in at the same time. And then moving back into a focused awareness presentation or focused awareness attention. So just as a reminder, focused attention is stable and it doesn't shift. And I see it a lot of times, like if you think of a camera, it's a camera lens. It's dialing in our attention and really focusing on a particular point. And then really serving as a place to anchor our attention. So I always think in meditation of a mantra or a voice, for example, if we're doing a guided meditation like we are going to do today. And then open awareness is really the opposite of that. So it's flexible and it's welcoming anything without any judgment, sort of like viewing things through a wide angle lens, right? We're taking everything in, not focused on one particular thing. And that to me also includes, besides thoughts, which will naturally come up, and includes our feelings or our sensations that might come into the practice. So one other thing that I will say is I believe that when we can master our attention and we really stay focused on whatever is happening in any given moment without judgment, that is true freedom. That we are able to direct our attention or our intention in the way that we want. And that creates a foundation for more joy, more creativity, just an overall sense of well-being. Okay, so let's get started. We'll be meditating as we normally do for about 20 minutes, and I will keep track of the time. So go ahead and find a comfortable position in a comfortable place without distraction, or at least minimizing distractions, and sitting in a space, in a place that is relatively still, with your hands in your lap or at your sides, whatever is comfortable for you. And as you find this comfortable, upright, and seated position, beginning to deepen the breath, beginning to settle into this space in this time that's only for you. It is your time and your place, your space. Letting go of anything that came before this, anything that's to come. And bringing your attention right here, the stillness. You might deepen the breath, taking some long, slow, and intentional breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. Settling the nervous system and shifting the brain. Welcoming everything and resisting nothing. And returning your breath to its natural rhythm and depth. You might check in with yourself for just a moment and ask yourself, how am I? How am I in this moment? There's no right answer. There may be no answer at all. Perhaps restating the question once more, how am I in this moment? Now bringing your focused attention to your body, noticing the sensations that come and go. Noticing the sensations of the body as the breath moves in and out. Noticing the spaces where the breath moves into the body, where it's released as it moves out of the body. Noticing your hands, perhaps your feet on the floor. Noticing the contact points between you and the surface beneath you. Perhaps the feeling of sitting. Scan your body gently. Notice any sensations that you might feel, perhaps of coolness, of warmth, any tingling, any lightness or heaviness. Any places of tension. Perhaps places of ease. Noticing the interplay of all sensations in the body. Wherever your attention is drawn is perfect. There's no need to evaluate, create a story, or any reasons. Simply focusing your attention on sensations as they arise. And if you notice as you expand your awareness throughout the body, there are particular areas that draw your attention, you might consider exploring those more deeply. Your attention is love. And we'll continue to do this for a few minutes, and I will keep track of the time. If you notice that your mind has wandered, simply return to the sensations in the body. Shifting your attention now into open awareness, letting your attention be flexible and noticing whatever charms your attention, whether it's a sound, feeling, a smell, even a thought, welcoming everything that comes into your field of awareness, resisting nothing, whatever that sensory object or impulse may be. There is no such thing as a distraction. If you notice that thoughts come into your field of awareness, imagine that they're like clouds floating through the sky, not staying for any length of time, simply moving through, letting your expansion occur in all directions. Bringing your attention now back to your breath, focusing on the in-breath, the air as it comes through the nostrils or the mouth into the body. And then focusing on the out-breath as the air leaves the nostrils or the mouth. Tuning in to any sensations on the in-breath and the out-breath. Noticing the pauses between each breath. If you'd like to introduce a mantra, you can introduce the mantra Aham Prema. Aham Prema. With each in-breath, Aham, and with each out-breath, Prema. Remembering that it's important not to put attention or meaning behind the mantra, but simply to notice on the inhale and the exhale. Aham Prema. Gently releasing the mantra now and resting in the stillness of your being for another moment or two. Goethe said, "The moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. All sorts of things occur to help one that would never otherwise have occurred. Unforeseen incidents, meetings, and material assistance, which no man could have dreamed would have come his way." As our meditation comes to a close, I invite you to gradually become aware of the space around you. You might tune in to the sounds in your environment, perhaps on your hands or in your hands on your lap. Your feet on the floor beneath you. You might stretch into the space around you, gradually bringing some gentle movements back into the body. It's really important to come out of meditation slowly, so take your time. There's no rush. And when you're ready, you're welcome to blink your eyes open, taking in your environment with fresh eyes, a fresh perspective. And perhaps today, bowing our heads and setting an intention for our day. I want to thank you so much for being with me today, showing up for yourself. The light in me honors and sees the light in each and every one of you. Namaste. We'll see you next time.